Good morning, or I could say good morning. No, Vietnam. And of course, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Probably you all seen the Truman Show. I cannot miss this start. To be fair, I'm gonna work on it to make it a little bit smoother. But hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning to the world. How are you doing? I'm just gonna mute myself. How are you, David?
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here again.
Yes,
Uh,
after
we
a
had a
long
big,
break.
yeah, we had a quite long break for 2 weeks, I guess. But we are here. We returned, and we try to talk about this nice things around Starbase. What's going on and everything. So I hope you
Yep.
can join. Uh,
Um, this
however,
is
in Europe, is we know that it's work time, but hopefully you can join us.
this is obviously a morning talk for everybody who's at Starbase or around Starbase or in the US. But this is hopefully in this show, more of you is watching us basically from all around the world. If you can, please subscribe to the channel because it's very important for this particular channel as well, just like the mother channel, the What About It as well. But subscribe to the What About It Plus channel as well because it's a great service what you do if you do that. Press the like if you're gonna see what you will hear in this channel, and of course steer yourself to the 24/7 stream as well because it's a very important thing that we can show you, just like you can see in the screen. You can see Starbase 24/7, so all around the clock. So anytime if you wonder what's going on at Starbase, that's a good way to head yourself.
Or
Maybe
at the
it's
Cape.
or at the Cape, exactly. Maybe it's worth bookmarking it. And of course, this is a new format. We have our accents. Probably you notice none of us is Felix Schlang for a reason, but hopefully you're gonna like it. We have our unique Hungarian accents. We do
Especially
our
me.
own. No, and then hopefully you like what you hear us. We do it from the bottom of our hearts because we like this topic. But enough of this run up, and let's exactly see what's going on at Starbase because we haven't been here for 2 weeks, and there's so much action actually happened down there. So let's see exactly what has happened.
Okay,
Let's start with Messi's, right?
although there was a quite bad weather last week, some things happened, and that's what we tried to catch up. So
Mm-hmm.
we are starting at the message, and currently there is nothing much to see, but actually two prototypes were there quite not quite long ago, so last week. And maybe the more important was the S30
Mm-hmm.
prototype because that's which is prepared for the Flight 5, so the upcoming flight for Starship. And they have done a new static, or again a static fire with S30 because
Let's see the video if we can,
yeah,
because
sure.
we have our own
So
camera
it
view
was needed
for
because
Starship.
back in June there was at least one Raptor vacuum engine changed or swapped, better to say, and SpaceX
Swapped. Mm-hmm.
thought so that swapped, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought that one more static fire should be needed, and they have done it on Friday. So it was quite a sight. So yeah, I guess if you are at the on X and yeah, you follow SpaceX or anybody else from the space community, then I guess you could not miss this SpaceX video about the static fire,
This
but
is incredible.
it's
This is
totally
incredible.
insane.
I think
It's
everybody
out of this
has
world.
absolutely, and I think everybody whoever watched the Saturn V rocket startup or any space shuttle
Rather
launch.
space shuttle, yeah.
Yeah. When all those RS-25 engines are
Yes.
firing up, I mean, you cannot unsee the parallel between those shots. I mean, this is incredible. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are these actually ice that flying around?
I would
Is
say
there any
yes.
chance?
Yeah,
Or
of
that's rather
course,
the
they can be seen only at this very
beginning.
low rate, or this I don't know what kind of rate slow motion is that, but of course at the
Anyway,
normal speed you couldn't see it. Yeah, and other interesting thing that if we start from the beginning the video, then we can see that actually they start first the vacuum engines, and after them they come the center engines, and yeah, it's quite interesting because as far as I remember, the launch sequence for the second stage, I mean the ship itself, starts with the center engines, and they when they separated, I mean it's separated from the booster, then they start the vacuum engines, and it's
really?
because yeah they don't want to make too much trouble for the for the forward dome, or at least the hot staging ring for the booster. That's why they are starting the center engines first, and maybe half a second later, so it's not a long time between the sequences, but first they start the center engines, and after that the Raptor vacuums. But
It's interesting. I don't know why I remember the other way around, but now actually it makes sense because this is why we saw that the center engines are firing away, so they are sort of at the very
exactly,
open state or an open direction, and as
yeah,
soon as the vacuum engines were lit up and then the ship is distant enough from the booster, this is when the center engines actually close in and
exactly,
actually more center focused. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so do you
So
think there
it's
is a change of sequence?
yeah,
The
for me,
startup.
at least for me, it's a change, but of course I can be wrong. So
I mean, during
correct
the
me.
flight, do you think it's gonna be a change in the flight? Like booster flight, so sorry, flight 5.
Hopefully we will see it, but
Uh-huh.
once they try this sequence, I guess then they change it for the launch itself, so the flight. But we will see. Hopefully it will be hopefully a good, nice, clean weather, and we can see the separation and the second stage engine start. But yeah, hopefully we don't have to wait too much time. But we will talk about it at the launch site when we are there. What's the plan
Okay.
currently, or what we are knowing currently? But yeah, for now, yes. I guess we can see the static fire video quite a long time.
Yeah.
Because that's the first time actually that we can see from this perspective a ship static fire. So it's
I
totally insane, I guess.
Once we are talking about ship 30, I would like to cover the booster. I quickly just gonna pull in the booster. Sorry for this. So I will mute it. I don't know if you can hear it or not. But what I would like to touch very quickly is that the fact that now it looks like, and obviously we're gonna cover more extensively when we talk about the launch site and the new Tower 2 that they are building the flame trench. I think very soon the booster static fire tests uh, are not gonna look like this because
Not for
now
sure.
the flames are going in all directions,
Yeah.
and I think it looks super duper cool. But with the flame trench, and we've seen the video what we shared, what we have from originally from let me just pull it in. Yeah, you can see that the flames are not going every direction anymore. It's just one direction and that's it. So
Yeah.
the characteristic gonna be completely different, which is, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, from one hand, it's of course that's how things should be should go during a static fire or a launch. So that's why flame trench has been invented or
Yeah,
just
yeah,
built on any let's say original launch sites.
yes.
And yeah, from our side, on the other hand, it's a bit bad thing because these shock waves and the flames all around 360 all around the clock. So it's totally insane. But that's how things should go because this yeah, as we all the time say, this first orbital launch mount, it's a prototype itself. So they have to evolve it, because currently this kind of how would I say, technical outfit, it's not good for long time and for many more launches.
It's
For a
not
couple launches
durable.
they can
It's
use
not
it, but it's
durable at all. Yeah.
yeah, it's not durable. Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
word I was searching for.
Mhm.
So yeah, S30 has done its static fire, and actually it's done with its separated tests, because of course before the flight they should go for the weather rehearsal with the with booster 12. But for now, separated tests are gone, and both of the prototypes or the stages are prepared for the flight already. So S30 has been moved back to the Sanchez, and if we are going to the live camera, we can show it for you that it's currently at the Sanchez site, and they are preparing, I guess, the for main reasons, of course, the heat shield itself, because some of the heat tiles are missing. But it's a good news that only a couple of tiles has fallen during the static fire. And if you remember that what was the situation, I guess, for flight 1 or 2, it was much worse. And that's a good that's a good sign that this new reconstruction of the heat shield with this new heat tiles and
Let me show some photos just to back up what you were talking about.
uh-huh.
Um, so these are the current. I think these are from the 26th. So you can see that some tiles they falling off, or they were not missing already when they were transported to.
They were missing deliberately, so I guess there are some sensors, or I don't know what, but they were missing before the static fire already. But only a couple of tiles has fallen after or during the static fire, so that's the good thing I mentioned.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's actually the improvement of the heat shield works so far, but of course we have to wait until the flight, and we'll see how the heat shield will survive. Hopefully, survive especially the plasma phase during reentry. So that's so far, or that's currently what we can say about the S30. So it's currently prepared the launch site. I mean, on the production side, sorry. And after they are done with the last heat shield renovations and other things, other preparation things, then it will be moved to the launch site with the booster 12, and they will be stacked. I guess they will do at least one weather rehearsal, and after that, of course, the flight termination system activation, and only the flight. What remains.
Okay.
Okay.
What else in the base? Let's just quickly just summarize what article. So what hardware is in what base? Just very quickly, if you have it in mind.
Yeah, so the interesting thing that in the high bay there is nothing actually currently. So everything has been moved out from the high bay or to the mega bay too, because as I mentioned, S30 is on the Sanchez side, so next to the high bay or mega bay one actually. Then S31 is in the mega bay 2, and or I have to think about, but I guess it's on the mega bay 2, and also the new block 2 sections. So for the S33, so the first block 2 ship is also in the mega bay 2. And yeah, but of course you can correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, there is nothing in the high bay currently. Of course, in the mega bay one is totally different, because it is full with boosters. So currently the booster 12 is getting its hot staging ring, so it's a very good sign as well that we are closing to the launch day, because it's one of the last things what they used to do with the boosters, booster preparation, when they are getting their hot staging ring. Maybe you know that this is the interstage between the first and the second stage, and it's needed that the Raptor flames shouldn't get or shouldn't hit actually itself the booster forward dome. That's what they are using this interstage. They are calling it hot staging ring, and currently is put on the top of the booster, and besides booster 12 there is booster 13, booster 14, and already booster 15. So there are actually 3 full-size boosters already. I mean the full bodies already done for these 3 boosters, and booster 15 is in 2 parts, I guess, currently. And in the Mega Bay 2, as I mentioned, there is ship 31 and 33, I guess, currently.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way how they're doing these days. But it's actually it's a generation change currently. What we are looking at at least at the ships. So yeah, that's what
Do you want to
the
cover?
production
Okay,
side.
well, actually, before we cover the photos,
Yes, the
B6,
photos.
B16. Just before that, just before we do the block 2, 16, 14.1. Which one is the
B14 point B. Yeah, test 16,
test tank?
test tank 16. Yes, so it's not a booster, but it's for the ship version 2 or block 2. It's a test tank. It's as its name says. So it's not a whole size or a full ship, but only for the aft section of the new block 2 ships. And it was tested as well on the messes, and has been taken back to the Star Factory, interestingly. So not in any base, but in the Star Factory. So we don't know actually how these tests went. But this first phase of the test tank 16 wasn't too long at the messes. So only a couple of days has been there. So yeah, they actually tested it with I guess liquid nitrogen, and it was a structural test actually. So we don't know the results, of course, but at least it seems to be still intact. So it's a good sign that it's not blown away, or I don't know. So it's not.
So a lot of people expected that they're gonna put the cover on top of it and they're gonna do the stress test, but that
They
never
have done
happened.
it. They have done it. They have done this stress test, I guess, with liquid nitrogen.
No, the pulling down. I said, when
Yes.
they put the top of it
Uh-huh.
on it, the lid, and then they start pulling it. So this is what I meant, the stress test, not the fuel test. So they've done the the fueling tests, so just to see the pressure tests, and now everybody expected that they're gonna put the top of it and they're gonna start pulling it down and test for the real tests, but it never happened.
Yeah, so far it never happened, and yeah, it's that's why it's a bit interesting why they have taken it back to the Star Factory. Maybe they have seen some structural problems or something to correct, and after that I guess there will be a phase 2 for this test tank. So they will move it back to the messes, and they will do this stress test with this can crusher actually.
Okay. And also, we wanted to talk about the new Block 2 version because
Oh yes.
apparently there is something new on the horizon, and it's pretty awesome to see the first signs of it.
Yes, a couple of weeks ago, the first parts or the first hardware parts have been taken out from the Star Factory, at least the nose cone,
To the
and
daylight.
to the
It's the
daylight
first time to the daylight, yeah.
to take some fresh air. And actually the nose cone part and the payload bay has been taken to the high bay, and they have been stacked. And actually they have done it quite fast, because last week they have already sent it or taken it through the production site into the Mega Bay 2. and that's because the payload, pass dispenser, as they say, so the Starlink dispenser, which is a quite interesting mechanism inside the payload bay. So in time, the block ones, they have put actually this payload dispenser when it wasn't stacked to the nose cone. But for now, or from now, better to say, from the block 2, they stack first the nose cone with the payload bay, and after that they lift it to on this payload dispenser. And
so for the first, before they were lowering the pass dispenser from above inside,
yes,
before they welded the nose cone and the payload section together. But now
yes,
the
that
payload section and the nose cone together, and they put the dispenser and they lower it onto it, right?
exactly, yes,
Uh-huh.
exactly. So the
So
first two
that's
parts are stacked and welded, and
yeah,
after
like this.
they are lowering on the in the payload bay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a quite interesting change. So not only so the starships are not changing only from outside, but from inside as well. Okay, so yes, they are currently doing this in the Megabay 2, and actually the new so the next part of the Starship, I mean the forward dome, has been shown itself already. And if we can zoom in quite a lot, because there are some details to be checked, because there are some things to talk about. And if you are seeing this this line with the stringers next to the heat tiles,
These ones, you mean?
yeah, the stringers, yes, that they are calling it stringers, right?
Yeah.
So if we are going to the right, and when the heat shield is starting, then we can see there are smaller tiles in the line of these stringers. So that's a quite new interesting new things that they are using different, not only different type of heat shields, but different size of heat shields already. And we don't know exactly the reason behind this, but of course there are lots of flight data already behind Starship, and that I guess SpaceX thought that these small tiles could survive easier in the line of these stringers. And of course, I guess the the installing of these tiles are much more easier as in case of the bigger tiles. And of course, we will see how they work. But it's interesting that they are using quite a different size of the heat tiles already on this in this part of this Starship.
It's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
We can see it's constantly changing, constantly evolving. It's unbelievable. And I don't know, this nose cone shape just reminds me on something, and I don't know, I've seen it somewhere in the nature. Oh yeah, of course, it looks like an orca. So I think we all love it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty cool that we can see the structural change with the flaps, because there were rumors before that they're gonna move the flap from. Let me show you a comparison with the Block 1 version. So it's completely removed, and these bits. This is called. Help me out. This is the
Hinges, yes.
hinges. Yeah. So that's completely different between the two versions.
Yes, so on the Block 1 ships, the flaps were installed 180 degrees next to each other, or in the front of each other, or the two sides of the nose cone 180 degrees. But now the Block 2 versions have the forward flaps a bit leeward side. And with this change, the hinges aren't getting so much heat from the plasma, because if you are think about how ship Block 1 has re-entered, so actually with 180 degrees, the direct hit of the plasma were actually hitting the hinges itself or themselves. But from now, because of they are putting it a bit behind, or a bit back to the leeward side of the ship, these hinges can survive much easier because they won't get direct hit with the plasma. And that's because of the round shape of the nose cone, and it's a bit physics, I know, but you can imagine how they can be hit with the plasma, heat up and being hit with the plasma. So 180 degrees or a bit less. I don't know how much degrees it is, but you can see that it's a bit closer to each other and a bit leeward. And also you can see the heat tiles has been changed on the nose cone, on the tip of the nose cone. And it's also an interesting change. And actually the whole nose cone looking so much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to the hinges. I mean, just see how big in the old one the hinges are and how tiny compared to the new one. I think it's a huge change. I mean,
Yeah.
we've all seen on Flight 4 these hinges falling apart like a cheap suit. Definitely, that was funny to see. Luckily, it went Terminator 2, and it just never died. It was falling apart, but never dead. So that was amazing, and you can see how much more heat tiles are actually on the nose cone. So probably they got some really cool flight data from Flight 4, and that's what iterative design or iterative development is about. You keep on
Yep.
testing it to the failure. I think, as we talked before about Flight 4, I think it did so much better than they expected it. And now here is the change. They applied all what they learned from Flight 4, and basically now it's just gonna get hopefully more durable. It's gonna do much better. Hopefully, we're not gonna see the hinges melt away during Flight 5, which
Yeah,
would be
hopefully.
awesome. And probably it means that the camera are not gonna get dirty as well. So we're gonna see an even cooler broadcast than what we had in Flight 5. Sorry, Flight 4. So I'm
Yeah, and
so looking forward.
one more important thing, or two more important things actually, that the shape of the shape itself of the forward flaps have been changed, and also they are a bit tinier, or not a bit but quite tinier as the Block 1 flaps. So you have just to look at the picture, and you can see with your own eyes how much they have changed the flaps themselves. So, and it's only the nose cones. So you can imagine how many smaller, bigger changes coming up for the entire Block 2 sections. So we cannot imagine how much better these Block 2 version ships are gonna be.
Exactly.
And that's
We
why,
don't know. We don't know what's going on under the hood.
yeah. So
There are
I guess
so many
some
different.
surprises are looking for us. So
Yep,
we will see some interesting things in the future.
absolutely. Maybe one more thing to highlight. I know nobody draws like I do. These lifting
Sabicasso.
points. Yes, these lifting points are actually gone.
Ah, yes.
It's not needed anymore, right?
No, because they will use a 4-point lifter, or lifter. That's the right word for it. So for the two
Not it, right?
pardon?
This is not it.
No,
Not yet.
that's still for the Block 1, but that's the newer version of the lifting mechanism for the Block 1 ships. So the later ships from 28, I guess, S28 has been lifted already with this new structure. So by them, this old I don't know things, this how they are calling it.
What? What do you mean? Sorry.
Oh, nothing.
The
Okay, never mind. So they are from the S1028. They are using this 2-point lift mechanism, or 2-point lift structure, And after block 2 or from the block 2 versions, they will use this quite longer and much more stronger 4-point lifter. And that's because they can use it because the flaps are moved to the leeward as we mentioned it before. So they have now opportunity, or they can actually put it or catch the ship in 4 points, and it gives much more better contact and much more structural. Okay, never mind.
It's just easier. It's just
Yeah,
easier because
easier.
they don't
Yeah.
need to lift it by the cones and then removing those lifting points and then retile it. It's just a simple mechanism that's basically just holding by the armpit.
Yeah,
and
the
saying, "Come with
stability is
me."
much better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better in every sense, and
Yeah.
it looks such a simple tool. So again, it's a bit misleading, but this is the old mechanism, and then there's a longer extended version of it, and that's gonna do a much better job. Two more things maybe on the launch side, unless you wanna, sorry, at the build site. One is the amazing Star Factory. I mean, this is just looking stunning. I mean, it's been finished since a while, but we've seen with the walkthrough video with Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut, that inside this thing is coming together. They really kicking in all the manufacturing lines basically inside. So that's just a wonderful thing to see. So let's hope that soon we're really gonna see the ramp up. The rumor has it, it's just not gonna be enough having 2.5 bays, so like two
Yeah.
bays and a high bay. So the rumor has it that there might be some stuff going on. We just don't know yet. Yeah.
But it's not a surprise at all. So if we are thinking about the capacity of this whole enormous Star Factory, then we can imagine that this 2.5 bays, as you mentioned, Sabi, they won't be enough.
Instead of 2.5 man, it's 2.5 bays. Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to hurt anybody. And maybe the other things. What was I actually? There was something I wanted to talk about, but I'm not sure. I did not forget. Oh yeah, of course. The big offices, because there is a huge office is getting built. Before we get into this, there is the football field, the tiny pitch, that basically prevented SpaceX from finishing that section of the Star Factory. So it looks like the case is still not closed officially, but it looks like the deal is sealed. It's just the official things takes a bit more time. Take a bit more time. So it's the
It
deal
was a
is
nice
struck,
soap opera.
but yes, but hopefully now it's already done, and probably they can finish the extension of the rest of the tiny bit of the Star Factory. It's just a little addition, but we have this awesome new office being built, which looks, I think it's getting more and more stunning, really.
Yeah, it's growing out from the ground like a mushroom. So it's the pace of the building is totally insane. So just look at the structure. So it's not only a couple of columns. So there are thousands of columns in there, and they are already pouring the concrete in the different levels. And actually, the 2/3 of the building is already finished with as structural things, and with the third part, they are moving quite fast as well. It's a bit strange because it's not looking like totally as the two other parts. So it looks like a bit more tinier and a bit lower as well. Yeah, we might see what's going on there, but of course that's the design. So they didn't want to make it too simple and too easy design, but they were thinking that okay, this this strange shape will be much better. And that's one more thing that why we are taking this topic, because maybe you heard about this moving the SpaceX headquarters moving from California, Hawthorne. So Elon mentioned it 1.5 weeks ago, I guess, on X, that he wants to move all the
They are
HQs.
moving. They are
So
moving.
they are already moving. Maybe they started to
No, I mean
move.
it's decided. So it's not
Yeah.
maybe, they are moving. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, maybe you know that the headquarter of SpaceX is still in Hawthorne, Los Angeles, California, and Elon mentioned that they move the whole HQ to the Starbase, and that's why this building will get even bigger role, because not only the Starbase management will be here, but also the entire SpaceX management, I guess. So we don't know yet if all the Hawthorne things will be moving up, but I guess the production part will be still there, because they just can't moving all the Falcon 9 or the Raptor or the Merlin things just so quick from California to Texas. And of course it would mean that more thousands of people shall be moving from California to Texas, and maybe they don't want to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
couple of
Steph-
family will have bad times, but that's how the CEO decided. And if you are not agreeing with him, then you can leave. That's the fact actually behind this decision.
Simply put, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Right. Probably just touching a little bit of the tower sections or the tower blocks. I don't know which one is the more correct
Both, I
terminology
guess.
here. Both.
Tower sections, modules.
Because yep, modules. Yeah, probably that's the one. Because there's a new tower section. New tower is being built at the launch site,
Yeah.
and there are some traces of it still at the rocket range. No, sorry, Sanchez. Sorry, rocket range is a cool place, but I meant to say the Sanchez site. I don't think I have any photo of that, but that's fine. I'm gonna. Okay, thank you. We have it in the live cam. So there are some sections. So we have 4 sections standing at the launch site, and the 5th one is right there already.
Yeah,
Which
it's
might,
staged already. Yes.
yeah, so it might get stuck, getting stacked.
A bit stuck, yes.
They are
Stuck
going
and then stacked, hopefully.
they are going to stack it anytime, basically. But yes. What about the rest? Let's start with the rest, and then we go back with where are at the moment, or
Okay, so
the other way around, whichever you like.
so yeah,
I don't know.
the
Do
rest
you
of the
want to start
tower.
with the existing one and then focusing on the rest of the elements, or
Once we are looking at the Sanchez, then just a quick catch up. So
okay?
there are segment 6, 7, 8, and 9 there, and of course the whole chopstick things. So the carriage and the 2 arms actually are still at the Sanchez, but yeah, they are a bit behind the schedule, because they planned 1 month ago that until the 27th of July, they want to have the 6th segment already stacked. But of course, as we can see, that it's not happened because of the bad weather. And yeah, they are moving along a bit slower as they wanted to do. But yeah, that's how it works. So we cannot cheat with the nature. So if it says that it will be raining 4 days, then it will be raining 4 days, and you can do anything. So that's why they are moving a bit slower as they want. So currently, as you can see on the live stream, that 4 segments are stacked, and the 5th is already prepared or staged next to the tower, and it's a bit strange, but because this current situation, what you can see, it's almost 3 days long, so it's a quite low pay or not too fast pace, or yeah, for SpaceX speed, I would say it's quite slow, and especially if we are seeing the plans that they wanted to have the sixth segment already before end of July, and they are still only at the fourth segments. Then I don't know how the plans will be changing, and why they are still catching the four segments, because they stacked it on Saturday. So 3 days ago, and this whole enormous crane is still catching it. So of course there are lots of things to do to have the strength and the structural things between the segments, because they have put some plates, and they have to weld it to have the structural strength to this whole tower. Yeah, but it's a bit strange, because as we are remembering back, the first and the second segments were put on each other so quick that we just blink an eye, and both of them were on. And for now, it's a bit slowing down. We don't know why, but hopefully.
There is not much they can do. I mean, they can have a plan how they would like to stack it, and then if nature doesn't really allow it, then they can whistle. I mean, there's nothing to do.
Of course.
If
Yeah,
they
but
can't, they can't. I
I'm
mean, yes, they had the plan, and
I'm just
then
thinking out loud.
yeah, there's not much they can do. I
Yeah.
mean, that's it. End of story. I mean, yeah. Let's hope that they can speed it up at some point. But actually, I remember Zach Golden was saying that he doesn't think that they can do this pace. He didn't even think about the weather issues. He was just saying that technically, it's just the technical side of it. It still requires a lot of work.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be nice if they could speed it up, but
But still, they are building this tower so quick that I guess nobody else could do this.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, we already have like a tower and a half down there, which is
Yeah.
incredible. And they already have the internals of the tower. They already doing it much faster compared to how they were constructing Tower One. So it's always a comparison, and since Einstein, we know that everything is relative. So
Who is
I
Einstein?
think it's still an incredible pace
Yeah.
what they are dictating there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It is pretty
And
cool.
just a bit more thing that this fourth and the fifth segments are maybe the most important, or one of the most important things on the tower, or it is these two segments are very important, because the ship one on one hand, the chopsticks are getting here first, so this carriage will be taken here first, and I guess it will be done moving down or back to the top. And the other thing, that the ship quick disconnect arm will be put here, and it will be another important change compared to Tower 1, because on Tower 1 there is the ship quick disconnect arm only in 2 points
Attachment.
mounted on the tower, but here at the Tower 2 will be 4 points, so it will be given. It will give much more structural strength again. So it's improved tower segments.
Isn't it because they need to lift the ship quick disconnects arm, and
Yes.
they are already preparing for that. That
Yeah, that's
once
the
they
other
are
thing, that they will when the ship V3 or Block 3 will come, then they will move the quick disconnect arm even higher, and they are planning already in advance.
That's what I heard. That it's still attached to 2 points, but the other two is gonna be for the elevated
Okay.
design, because once they're gonna start designing block 3, I
3,
think.
yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be the taller one.
Mhm.
Then they just need to basically lift the quick disconnect arm one attachment point higher. So that's basically much better. Yeah.
Yeah, block 2 will be even higher as block 1, but not so bigger that they should move the quick disconnect arm even higher. So it will be the high as on the tower 1, but a bit more strength. Because as we can see on the tower 1, it's getting too much in case of every launch, so they have to reconstruct it almost from the beginning. And of course, the design will be changing for the new ship quick disconnect arm. But that's how things shall going forward, and that's how SpaceX learn from his own mistakes, or just looking or searching for new structural options.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Yep.
I don't know what else we need to cover at the launch site, because I mean the flame trench building is undergoing, but we don't have any photos from above that we could show. What we know that for the tower we got the segments arrived from Cape. So it's still down there, the shorter chopsticks. Oh, by the way, it's an interesting, if we are talking about the towers, pros and cons about should they wait for Tower 2 with Flight 5 or not, because a lot of people argue, including me, that they should probably wait for Tower 2 with Flight 5, because simply it's just the risk side. But now we're obviously learning that they are going to do, and the attempt of catching the booster at Flight 5, so they're definitely gonna go and give a shot. What do you think? Do you think it's better if they are giving the shot with the longer chopsticks instead of the shorter chopsticks, what the Tower 2 is going to have? Because in my mind, yes, the longer chopsticks gonna leave more wiggle room for errors, so you have more surface to land on, basically. But we've seen during the tests that these long chopsticks, they don't really move as fast as it should. So that's a big question mark. That are they gonna be responsive enough for this?
Yeah, it's a good and a hard question, 2 in 1, because on one hand, maybe everyone thinks that if the booster cannot be catched, then it will totally destroy the tower. But it's not the thing, because when the booster is returning, then it has almost only its own mass, so around 300 tons or 350 tons, or I don't know the current numbers yet, or for now. But it has a very low rate of methane and oxygen. So everybody thinks that if booster hits the tower, then a big bagaboom coming up. But it's not a thing, because almost the two big tanks will be almost empty.
I don't think that the biggest fear is this. The biggest fear is if it lands on the tank farm. Then that's the problem. Yes, if it's precise enough that it's gonna be between the two arms, then yes, that's absolutely a good way of approaching it. But what if it misses the arm and it's gonna crash down, even with the low speed, somewhere where what's crucial?
But one should think about that the boosters can hover, actually, not so they are not doing the suicide burn as the Falcon 9s. And if everything looking to going wrong, then they can actually doing a manual correction with the Raptors, or of course the flight flight computer will do the corrections itself. So it wouldn't say I wouldn't say that one man will sit in the background with a joystick and and moving the booster manually. So the flight computer will see if everything looking towards to going wrong. And of course, they can move the booster from the launch site if it seems that the directions are not the best. So I'm quite confident that
Dave, in theory, that sounds amazing, but I think everybody's worry is basically what if technically there is something wrong with the booster. They've only done it
then
once.
we see it.
Right? No, I know. I mean, I'm not disputing it, and it's gonna happen whether if I want it or not. So I'm not questioning them. I'm just raising the concern that if technically everything goes well with the booster and it functions as it should, and all the engines are working, and everything goes according to the plan. Yes, I'm on board. It can hover, it can correct itself, it can do a lot of things. But what if the engines are out? What if they're gonna have a blockage? What if, there's a lot of what ifs, because there was only once that the booster actually landed. And yes, that's a lot of information, but that's far from the sufficient amount of information that they can say everything is gonna be alright, most likely. So, and I think that's where the concern is coming with all the people who are actually questioning the Flight 5 catching attempt. We will see. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I desperately
That's why
want
SpaceX is SpaceX. So
yeah.
if the engineers and flight directors are so confident, then why not? So hopefully there won't be too much catastrophic things happening. Yeah, but
That's what they said about IFT1 as well.
okay, I won't
They're
argue
not
with
flawless.
you or
They're not
anybody else. If it's
Yeah.
still in Hungarian, it's a bit complicated, not in English, so I don't want to argue with anybody. I'm quite positive. I'm quite positive with these things. So if they want to catch, then they will catch it, I guess, and they will do it, or they will manage it somehow.
Absolutely. I don't think it's a question of argument, because it's not up to us. So
Yeah.
there's no argument here. I'm just raising the points or the concerns that not me, a lot of people, more educated people than I am, actually raised in the past or is happening. But look, we have the confidence that I'm just gonna sit in my armchair. I'm gonna have some nice munchies next to me with some nice drinks. Most likely we're gonna stream it and we're just gonna enjoy the show. Whatever happens, it's
It's not up to us. We're just enjoying the show.
absolutely. We're just here to actually discuss that the options, I would say. So maybe just in a few sentences, let's cover what's going on in Cape Canaveral, because Falcon 9 is back in business sooner than I think most of the people expected. We can see two boosters at Cape. What is it called now?
Port Canaveral.
Port Canaveral. Thank you. I forgot it. Temporary breakdown of the mind.
Yeah, and I guess if SpaceX had 3 or 4 launch sites at the Cape, then currently we could see 3 or 4 Falcon 9s. So that's the maximum what they can have in the port or at the port, because of course you know that there are 2 launch sites in the Cape and 1 in Vandenberg. So actually, Falcon 9 couldn't be back much better or much more back to business, because under 28 hours they had 3 launches, and it's still not a record as far as I know. But this 2 weeks or 15 days, actually they had 15 days break, or they had to return to flight because they had some technical issues with the Falcon 9 second stage. Maybe you heard about it. And of course there were investigations, and the FAA had to give the green light again, if I can say that. And SpaceX didn't didn't want to waste any more time, and they just launched everything what they can launch. So at the weekend there were 3 Starlink launches, and from these 3 there are 2 boosters back in Florida already, and maybe in California the 3rd one will arriving soon. So yeah, it's quite a rare thing that 2 boosters are still on the drone ships, and I guess maybe the one of it will be lifting quite soon, because the crane is already attached to the top. And if I'm correct, then the next launch will be on Friday, so there will be a couple of days break now. But yeah, if I'm just checking my list, on August the 2nd. August the 2nd will be the next Starlink launch. So yeah, it's a quite how would I say? It's not every time easy to follow what SpaceX is doing.
Yeah, the most important thing that they are back in business. I think
Yeah.
it's a long awaited, not too long, because it's been what, 16 days, right?
15.
It's been 15 days. Yeah, I mean this is no time.
Yeah, not
usually
50,
in this
15. So 1-5,
15,
just to make
1-5,
sure that
absolutely.
yeah.
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Just like in the Total Recall movie, 2 weeks.
that's
So yeah,
that's yeah.
that's huge. That's huge. By the way, in Hungary, I have seen the 10-4 batch, not even 1 day old, satellite train. We shared it on our channel. That was quite a sight. I don't know if anybody ever seen a Starlink satellite train. It boggles the mind. You know, the starry sky, it just crosses the night sky, and it just looks like I don't know, like a Jedi sword. It's absolutely blowing the mind. So yeah, it's a cool sight. Check out Heavens Above, because they have really good predictions on how can you see it from your location. Okay, I think this is us for this week. Let's hope that many will find this new platform, the What About the Y Plus channel, and many will start listening to us in here as well. Thank you for your attention wherever you are in the world. Definitely make sure that you're gonna subscribe to What About It and What About It Plus. Both channels are incredibly nice. Smash the like button if you liked what you heard. Definitely stay tuned on the 24/7 stream, because you can tune in any time and you can see what's going on down at Starbase. Bookmark it if you like, so it's very easy to find it. I think we will be back in a week time. Let's hope that a lot of new changes gonna happen at Starbase. Yeah. And definitely stay tuned. New episode is coming out with Stefanie. So I've already seen it. It's pretty cool. She's done a great job. And also, so don't forget, Tuesdays, Fridays, always new episodes from Felix. If you want to get the real good summary of what's going on down in Starbase and with the Starship developments. I think this is us. Thank you for your attention. And maybe a few words, David, and then we smash.
Yeah. Also, thank you, your kind I don't know. I cannot tell anymore in English. So okay. So see you next week. Hopefully, I'm a bit tired. Sorry.
Yes, that's fine.
And yeah, stay tuned as Szabi mentioned, and we'll see each other next week. Hopefully on Monday.
Yeah. Okay. Stay tuned. Take care, guys, and we see you next week. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Take care.